Welcome to the first episode of Don't Do What I Did on PB Toy Hunt. Welcome back to PB's Toy Hunt, everybody. I am PB. First, I would like to thank everyone who's liked, who's commented, who's subscribed. It means so much to me that you like what I do and you help me grow the channel. Remember, when I get some zeros on the end of those subscription numbers, then that's when I'll be giving away to you guys. And I have been stacking up on plenty of items to give away. So I look forward to being able to do that in the near future. Next, I am looking a little rough around the edges. So that's simply because for the past 5 or 6 years, I participated in what's called No Shave November. So for these videos in November, I'm going to be looking a little off. It's where you put down the razor and whatever you would spend on razor products, you donate to the charity of your choice, namely cancer research, because we've all had someone affected by, well, family or friend affected by cancer at some point. So just that's something I do. So it's not for no sponsorship, just something I like to do for myself. And you can look them up, No Shave November. Just Google it. All the details are there. I've never done it really through their website. It's just something I've done on my own, but it's something I like to do each and every year. So I will be looking a little rough for the foreseeable future. Now, being a photographer by trade, what happens is I get caught up in running back and forth, going from event to photo shoot to studio to park. So during that time over the weekend, I don't have a lot of time to get to dive into my pre-orders, my what might be delivered. So I don't get to do that until the very end of the weekend when I finally sit down and can just relax and dive in and say, okay, are these pre-orders good? Did this delivery arrive? So what I found this week when I did finally get to sit down, was there was a perfect storm of ineptitude, and it's all on my part. I took a lot of L's across the board on this one, and I went through it, so now I'm sharing it with you so you don't have to. Number one is research pricing. I purchased some figures in the last month or so that had I checked other sites or other retail outlets, I would have gotten maybe $2, $3, $4 off. Or at this point, I'm seeing some of those figures online for 50% off, and they just released. That would require a little more due diligence on my part. So just as a collector, everything costs more these days. We want to save a few dollars here and there whenever we can. Just check your pricing and cross reference and make sure you are getting the best deal that you can on the figures that you want. Number two, if there's a figure that you like and you want it, go get it, because we allow ourselves to be heavily influenced by what we see online. Some people skew extremely positive and some people skew extremely negative. We allow those reviews to affect whether or not we buy a figure or not. Now, on the positive side, a lot of those we have to understand some of those opinions, once they get to a certain level and become connected, those opinions can be bought and paid for. And on the other side, the people that who tend to skew negative and don't seem to like almost anything, I think some of those might be upset that their opinion has not been bought and paid for at this time. So the truth is usually in the middle somewhere. But it doesn't even matter if you like the figure. If you like it, go get it and buy it. I allow myself to be influenced on a few figures that I end up buying and I end up liking. And I should have just bought them in the first place. So I want to share that with you. That's a mistake that I will not make again. And I hope you don't make that mistake either. If you want it, go get it. Now, at the same time, when you're buying your figures, don't feel obligated to buy everything. And that's number three. Don't feel obligated to buy everything. There was a time when waves came out, you would buy every figure in the wave just because that's the wave. You bought every figure. Now, we understand as collectors, there'll be two or three figures in that wave that are highly sought by everyone. And those are the ones that are going to sell out. The remaining figures in that wave are at some point probably going to become peg warmers, probably going to get a price reduced, and probably going to end up maybe on clearance. Or you'll find it on a third party website. You'll find them somewhere for less than they were at initial offering. So if you have the patience and you want to save a little money, get the ones that are most important and wait on the rest. That's a strategy that I've been using, and it's worked out fine. A lot of the figures that I was looking for in a wave, uh, the remaining figures in the wave, are showing up at Ollie's. I get them on websites. Now, don't do eBay. I don't trust eBay. I don't like eBay. But there are other sites, third-party seller sites, that are very reputable. And you find figures, sometimes I buy them loose, but I'll complete the wave at a later date with the lesser figures at a cheaper price. Anything to save money at this point, because once again, in this economy, everything's expensive, and our hobby is becoming more and more expensive. So we have to find ways to navigate through that hobby and still get the things we want, and not always at the highest price. Number 4, and this is a biggie, and this may be only me, but this happened, and I'll share it with you guys, and I'll take the L on it. Make sure your address is correct on your online ordering. I ordered from a site I hadn't ordered from in a long time, and neglected. I clicked it so fast that I neglected to check the delivery address, and it was to an old PO box that I haven't had in over a year, and the items went to that address. They went to the PO box, and it showed returned, like it was going back to the retailer. So I'm like, okay, it'll go back to the retailer. I'll get my refund or my store credit, and I'll just use it to buy something else. But went to check it again to see if the retailer had received it, and now it's showing delivered back to the PO box. Call the PO box people, and she tells me she sent it back, but it's showing delivered. Now, not saying anything against drivers or delivery people, and I've had much experience with delivery people. I know sometimes when they have things that return, they may scan it delivered and they might keep it. At this point, I'm not making any accusations. I just know those figures are lost to me. That money is lost to me, and that lesson cost me about $100. And I went through and made sure anybody I order from that my delivery address is updated. Now, the card address to make the payment, they don't care about that one as long as that card goes through. Make sure your delivery address is correct. If you've moved, if you're planning on moving, whenever you move, make sure you update your delivery address so you don't have to suffer the fate that I did and lose money and not get your figures. And number 5, and this happened over the weekend too. Got a little excited watching football. Well, I'll take it back. Pre-orders show up that I want. I knew the pre-order date when it was going to be released. So I'm like, great, I'll go in and pre-order it, and that'll be it. But as I'm putting it in the cart, someone's scoring a touchdown in the fourth quarter. The game going back and forth, got exciting. It's in my cart. I had 2 of them, one to buy for me, one to buy for you to give away at some point. And went back at the end of the game, about 30 minutes later, pre-orders had sold out. So number 5 is just click the button. When you're going through the process of ordering your figures, click the button. It also happened back in the summertime when McFarlane originally released the Gold Label Batman and 89 Batman and Batmobile. Jumped in, had to do had it in my cart, had to do 2-factor verification and put the code in. And then by the time I refreshed the screen and got back in, that item was gone. Had to wait 3 months to get that. So just click the button. So those are the 5 mistakes that I made, and hopefully I made them so you won't have to. And just as a recap, research your pricing. Make sure you're getting the best deal that you can get on your figures. And sometimes the lesser figures, wait a little while, get them at a cheaper price. Now, if you want it, get it. Don't let anyone outside of your bubble influence whether you buy a figure or not. It doesn't matter what it is. If you want it, go get it. Number 3, don't feel obligated to buy everything. There are some ways to get the lesser figures at a later time at a cheaper price. Number 4, make sure all your address information is correct when you order online. Horrible mistake. I'm still sick about that one. And number 5, click the button. As you're going through the process of pre-ordering an item and you know it's in high demand, don't let anything distract you from it. Don't let anything get in the way. Go through the entire process, click the button, and confirm that your order is complete. Thank you again for coming to PB's Toy Hunt. I look forward to seeing all you guys soon. Like, subscribe, continue to comment. Let me know down below what mistakes you've made and what lessons you've learned as a collector. We can all continue to share and learn from each other as we go. Until next time, happy hunting.